Well, Cyril Abiteboul, it's exciting news, which has been welcomed across Formula One, that you are to bring back Fernando Alonso. How long and hard did you have to think about it, and what questions did you ask yourself, or did you ask many, before deciding that this was the right thing to do?
Well, it's been a long process. It's been a long process. It's a process for which we've taken the time to consider where we are in the team journey, what's been working, what's been working a bit less than expected, and really thinking what do we need next, what's to come, with everything that's been going on, in particular the renew regulation being shifted by 1 year, the delayed season start that meant that difficult to judge our competitiveness level, but also the competitiveness of our academy drivers, and whether or not they will be eligible for a super license next year, and whether or not they can be candidate for ourselves next year. So and lots of questions for him, obviously, and him on his side, lots of questions for us. So it's been, but frankly, what's been reassuring and what's giving me more than anything the confidence to go for this option, and by talking also with the rest of the senior management of the team and of the group Renault, it's clear, smart approach and very logical approach about the situation, about the team situation, and about himself also. It's very clear that Fernando has a huge motivation after this year of break away from Formula One, to come back to the sport, a sport that he loves, with a team that he loved before, for sure, because our two titles, respective for Renault and for him, have been together. So we've got this very strong link between us, and probably a desire to have another go together. The sport is full of comeback. I hope that it will be one of the positive comeback. It's been certainly discussed on the very honest basis. So I hope that it's not that I hope. I know that there is not wrongful expectation about what we can offer next year, but we all believe that 2022 is an exciting project for the sport, for the team, and for himself.
Yeah. Do you think losing Ricciardo and bringing in Alonso is it a net gain for the team? Are you stronger with that lineup than you might even have been had Ricciardo stayed?
It's not, you don't swap driver, and you can't put quantities or figures in front of driver, and therefore being able to say what's the net impact. No, it's clear that we need a lineup of drivers, not just one, but two drivers that are quick, aspirational for the team. We are becoming a large group of people. Some of them have been racing with Fernando 15 years ago. Some of them were at other teams, and some of them were at school and universities. And I think it was a great opportunity to expose them to this raw diamond that was and still is Fernando, who's represent to me the absolute of a racer. And I like that. I'd like to think of us as a team as almost an extension of what Fernando is on track. So I don't want to draw any comparison, saying who's better and who's in certain aspects, but that's what I expect from him. And I also feel that it's a new Fernando that will come and race in a new Formula One, with a team that also need to be different, because simply the team need to be better by 2022.
Yeah, because when he was at McLaren for a time, the feeling was that McLaren couldn't deliver the car which Fernando Alonso deserved to drive. It became quite a negative narrative. What do you think you have to do in terms of supplying a car, both to keep him happy and to justify having him at the team, a two-time world champion?
I think we already have a car that would be exciting for him to drive. That's already a job done. Obviously, yes, he's a great driver, and as any great driver, he deserves a car that can win races. It's not exactly where we are, but we are in a very tight fight against a McLaren, a Ferrari, and the Mercedes of last year. I'm not. I don't feel bad about that, and I'm sure that he will already enjoy races like the one that we had last Sunday. So I think we just need to keep on doing what we've been doing very recently. He's been an accurate observer of our progression, but also of the changes that we've done more recently and the impact that it has already had on the cars that we've developed this winter. So if we do another step like this one for the next winter and another big step like this one for 2022, I think he will have what he wants, and the situation will be nowhere near what it was when he was last at McLaren.
One or two people are saying that if Sebastian Vettel, say, decides to retire, that maybe everything will move before the end of this season, that maybe Ricciardo will go to McLaren, maybe you'll bring in Alonso. Is that naive thinking? Is that possible at all? Or are you happy? Will you definitely stick to your lineup for the entirety of this year?
I have said, and you will find my quote, and I'm happy to say again that I'm extremely happy with my current lineup. I would not change it for anything in the world, and I expect so much more from Daniel than what we've been able to do together last year. I want this season to get to the end under this current lineup and no other.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. He'll be 40. Well, what is he, 39 when he comes back, maybe 40 in the second year. What does that mean? What does that mean, Cyril, for a driver? There's some very young guys on the grid these days. It's a young culture. How does he fit into all that?
Will be interesting. I think the main element into all of this is a motivation, and it's the feeling that you are doing something with your life and your career. On one hand, you have less pressure because he's already done a lot as a driver. At the same time, he would not to be taken for a fool. So that's why I think we have no choice but to be extremely honest with him. That's what he will feel is due. But yeah, I think more than his fitness or his racing skills or his pace, his motivation will be that what we will have to monitor. That's why I was mentioning that the thing that has been watching in priority is the level of his motivation and making sure that he was coming back in Formula One and with us for the right reason. And when those boxes were ticked, I was feeling extremely relaxed about his age.
Yeah. Do you have any nervousness at all, or any concerns that, historically, as you've said, that maybe there has been friction at teams he's been in the past, maybe he's been seen as a kind of political animal that likes to make his own decisions, that you might find him hard to deal with?
I think it's a different Fernando that we have today. The sport can be at time toxic in particular when like he knows that he's a fantastic driver, because even if he doesn't know, that's what everyone's telling him. So he's a fantastic driver, and yet you have absolutely no chance to get even close to a podium. That's tough. That's very difficult on one side. And also he's been, and nothing that I want to comment because I was not part of those teams, but he's been part of team in which there were also some difficulty, also due to the fact that they were not at the competitiveness level that they wanted or that they were projecting. So I think honesty, no political game being played or possible, and that will be a test for our team. I can tell you that there is absolutely no politics in our team. We have a very strong management group with Alain, Jérôme, myself, plus two factories who know what they have to do. Despite the fact that two different countries, two different cultures, we are on a mission, and I will make sure myself that it stays on like that, and that we don't give any opportunity to anyone to play anyone against the other. One team, one mission, and two fantastic drivers.
Well, Cyril Abiteboul, thank you very much for joining us. And on behalf of Formula One fans around the world, thank you for the part you've played in bringing back Fernando Alonso.
Thank you very much. We'll try to make sure not to disappoint you.